The night is still. Stars shimmer above, quiet and endless. A breeze moves like a secret, soft and unseen. High upon Olympus, the gods watch in silence. Yet even among the divine, mysteries remain. This is a story born of silence and light, a tale that begins with a single golden thread, not of gold forged by fire, but of destiny itself. The Moirai, the fates, weave the fabric of all lives. Their loom holds countless strands, each a living soul. Some threads are dark, some bright, some fragile as breath. But among them, one shines with uncommon radiance. The golden thread hums softly, like music in the night. It does not simply weave, it calls. Athena, goddess of wisdom, hears the call. Her eyes, sharper than steel, follow the glow. She knows that wisdom begins not with answers, but with questions. Why does this thread gleam brighter than the stars? What truth lies hidden in its delicate strands? The journey begins, not in battle, but in wonder. The tale of Athena and the golden thread of fate unfolds. In the beginning, there was a loom, vast and eternal. The Moirai, the fates, stood before it with quiet hands. Their figures glowed faintly in the twilight of timeless halls. Each thread that stretched across their loom carried a life. Some threads flickered like sparks, brief and fleeting. Others glowed steady, weaving long stories into the tapestry. The three sisters worked in harmony, each with a role. Clotho, the spinner, drew new threads from the breath of existence. Lachesis, the measurer, stretched each thread with careful length. Atropos, the cutter, ended the strands when time had passed. Together, they held the balance of all mortal destinies. The loom hummed softly with the sound of countless lives. Each vibration carried laughter, sorrow, hope, and dreams. It was not chaos, but a symphony woven from souls. Yet among these countless threads, one glowed with strange brilliance. It shimmered like liquid gold beneath the sisters' fingers. The thread seemed alive, as though aware of its place. It sang faintly, a melody no other thread could echo. The sisters exchanged glances, but said nothing at first. Clotho spun it carefully, her fingers gentle and slow. Lachesis measured it, but the length shifted like light. Atropos lifted her shears, but paused in hesitation. For the golden thread resisted her silent decree of endings. The loom brightened whenever the thread was woven in place. Patterns shifted around it, as though guided by unseen will. Where it touched other strands, their colors deepened with meaning. Where it crossed darker threads, sparks of harmony appeared. The sisters did not speak, but they understood. This was no ordinary thread of mortal or god. It was something beyond, a secret tied to the cosmos. The golden thread became the center of the tapestry. Like a river flowing through countless streams, it carried essence. Its glow reached even the farthest corners of the weave. The Moirai continued their work, yet watched in silence. They had seen many strange destinies, but never one like this. They knew it was not for them to question fate. They were keepers, not authors, of the great design. Still, the golden thread lingered in their thoughts. It was as if the universe had whispered into their loom. Time passed, yet the thread grew brighter with each weave. Its hum deepened, echoing across the halls of eternity. The loom itself seemed lighter, as if lifted by its song. And though the sisters spoke not a word, they waited. For they knew someone would come to seek its truth. The golden thread was not meant to remain hidden. It was a path, a beacon, a call across ages. And somewhere beyond the halls of fate, Athena stirred. Her wisdom, sharp as dawn, had felt its echo. The goddess of knowledge was already turning her gaze. The golden thread of fate had begun to reveal its story. Athena sat upon the high steps of Olympus, her gaze fixed on the horizon. The sky shimmered with shifting hues, yet her mind remained elsewhere. Whispers of the golden thread had reached her through silent currents. She felt its presence not with sight, but with intuition. The goddess of wisdom knew patterns when others saw only fragments. She saw signs in the flight of birds and the ripple of streams. She read truth in the silence between prayers of mortal. And now, something deeper stirred, pulling her into thought. The golden thread was unlike the countless destinies she had glimpsed. It pulsed with life beyond mortal choice, beyond divine decree. Athena closed her eyes and listened to its faint hum. It sounded like music carried through the folds of time, soft, elusive, but insistent, like a truth waiting to be known. She remembered the loom of the Moirai, sacred and eternal. She had often visited their halls, but never lingered long. For wisdom was not hers to spin, but to interpret. Yet now, this single thread called to her sharper than prophecy. Her heart, steady as stone, quickened with unspoken questions. What story could demand her attention so deeply? Why did the fates allow this anomaly to remain? Athena's mind turned like a wheel, weighing every possibility. She thought of mortals whose prayers echoed with desperation. She thought of heroes whose lives balanced on fragile edges. And she thought of gods, each bound by pride and desire. Could this thread be the key to harmony among them? Or was it a warning, a sign of imbalance to come? The goddess did not rush her thoughts, for wisdom was patience. She let the silence of Olympus answer in its own way. Below her, the world of mortals moved with restless rhythm. Fires burned, songs rose, children laughed, lovers wept, elders dreamed. Each thread of life was precious, woven in balance. But the golden thread seemed to move outside that order. It was as if destiny itself had created a secret path. Athena's eyes narrowed, reflecting the glow she could not yet see. She stood, her armor gleaming faintly beneath the fading sun. Her spear rested nearby, but she did not reach for it. This was not a call to battle, but to understanding. She descended from the marble steps, her footsteps silent and steady. The halls of Olympus stretched endlessly, adorned with light. Yet even their brilliance felt dim beside the thought of the thread. Athena passed other gods, each wrapped in their own matters. They did not notice the shadow of curiosity in her stride. For Athena kept her secrets close, guarded like precious flame. The hum grew stronger as she moved deeper into thought. It was not her imagination. It was real, alive, and beckoning. The goddess paused at a balcony, where the stars began to rise. There, in the silver veil of night, she felt the thread again. It pulled not with force, but with promise of knowledge. Athena's lips curved into the faintest of smile. For wisdom was not given freely, it had to be sought. And she, daughter of Zeus, had never turned from truth. The golden thread was no longer a secret to ignore. It was a path, waiting to be followed into the unknown. And with quiet resolve, Athena chose to follow where it led. Night had fallen upon Olympus, quiet and endless in its reach. The moon traced silver arcs across the still heavens. Athena walked alone, her footsteps echoing against marble stone. The air was hushed, as though listening for something hidden. Then, through the silence, a whisper broke the stillness. It was faint, almost too soft for mortal ears. But Athena heard it as clearly as if it spoke beside her. The voice was neither male nor female, neither mortal nor divine. It drifted like wind through branches, a song carried by night. Follow the golden thread. and truth shall be revealed. Athena froze, her sharp gaze cutting through the darkness. She had heard oracles, prophecies, riddles, and omens. But this was different. Intimate, subtle, alive with mystery. The whispers seemed to breathe directly into her thoughts. She turned her head, searching the shadows for its source. Yet there was no figure, no presence, no familiar shape. Only the still sky and the hum of silence. Again, the voice returned, weaving into the air. Seek the thread that glows brighter than the stars. Athena's heart stirred, though her face remained calm. She knew not to dismiss the call of unseen truths. Wisdom did not arrive with trumpets or fire. It came like this, soft, fragile, yet unshakably certain. She closed her eyes, steadying the rhythm of her breath. Her mind opened to the unseen fabric of the world. And there, faint and distant, she felt it. A shimmer, delicate but persistent, stretched across her vision. It was like starlight, yet warmer, pulling her inward. The golden thread pulsed with a rhythm of its own. It beckoned her, not with command, but with invitation. Athena stepped forward, guided by the unseen path. The halls of Olympus fell behind as night deepened. She followed the whisper through starlit gardens and shadowed arches. Each step seemed to echo in harmony with the call. She passed fountains where water glittered like liquid glass. She passed statues of heroes, silent in their stone dignity. But her focus never wavered from the invisible guide. The whisper returned, softer now, like breath upon her ear. Knowledge is not in power, but in understanding. Athena's eyes glimmered with a flame of curiosity. She had always sought wisdom beyond the grasp of others, yet never before had wisdom itself sought her. The golden thread tugged gently, pulling her toward the horizon. She knew it would not lead her to simple answers. It would lead her into the heart of mystery itself. Her steps grew lighter, her resolve deeper. The goddess of wisdom had been summoned by destiny, and destiny had chosen to speak in whispers of gold. When she paused at the edge of Olympus, she looked down. Below stretched the mortal world, alive with countless flickering lights. Each village, each flame, each life, threads within the weave. But somewhere beyond them, the golden thread glowed unseen. Athena felt its pulse quicken, as though eager to be found. The whisper faded, leaving only silence and starlight. Yet the message lingered, carved deep within her mind. Follow, and you shall know. Athena straightened, her eyes filled with quiet determination. For the first time, the path before her was not of her making. It was a call written in the fabric of fate itself. And with that, she began her descent into the unknown. Athena stepped into the mortal world, the air shifting around her. The golden thread shimmered faintly, a trail only she could see. It stretched outward, winding across valleys, rivers, and mountains. The goddess followed, her stride steady, her mind filled with silence. The night carried scents of earth, pine, and distant fire. Owls stirred from their branches, watching her with knowing eyes. The stars glimmered above, as if guiding her silent path. The thread pulsed softly, weaving across the darkened sky. Athena's heart, though unshaken, carried the weight of wonder. For wisdom was not found in stillness, but in pursuit. Each step she took was in rhythm with destiny's hum. She reached a meadow, its grass glistening with silver dew. The thread dipped low, brushing across the trembling blades. She paused, kneeling, touching where the glow caressed the earth. It hummed beneath her fingertips, alive and resonant. Visions flickered, laughter, songs, faces of mortals unknown. She inhaled slowly, steadying herself against the flood of images. The golden thread carried not just fate, but memory. It was a river of lives, flowing through unseen currents. Athena rose, her eyes sharper than before, her purpose clear. The path was not random. It was deliberate, guiding. The whisper still lingered in her mind, urging her onward. She crossed hills where shadows stretched long under moonlight. She forded streams that sparkled like liquid stars beneath her. Everywhere the thread passed, the world seemed more alive. Birds stirred in nests, leaves trembled with unseen energy. Even the stones beneath her feet hummed with quiet resonance. The goddess marveled, though her expression remained serene. It was rare for her to be guided instead of guiding. The golden thread tugged toward the horizon like a beacon, and Athena, wise though she was, felt the thrill of discovery. Soon she entered a grove where trees whispered ancient secrets. The thread wound through branches, glowing brighter in the dark. Owls called, foxes darted, yet the air was calm. It was as if nature itself bowed to the thread's passage. Athena touched the bark of an old olive tree. The golden glow passed through it, leaving no mark. Yet she sensed harmony, a balance woven deep within. The tree, symbol of peace and wisdom, stood as silent witness. The goddess smiled faintly, recognizing the hidden message. The golden thread was not only fate, it was connection. It bound mortals to each other, gods to the world. It wove harmony between silence and song, between sorrow and joy. Athena walked on, her thoughts deep, her heart steady. The journey stretched far, but she did not tire, for each step revealed more of the unseen truth. She reached a hill where the land opened wide below. Villages glowed with faint fires, children's laughter echoing faintly. The thread wove through them, shimmering like unseen starlight. Athena watched, seeing the invisible weave that held them together. It was not control, but unity, fragile yet enduring. The goddess breathed deeply, her spirit calm and awakened. She knew this was only the beginning of the path. The golden thread continued onward, drawing her across the night. And with quiet resolve, Athena followed its shining call. The night deepened, and the golden thread lifted toward the sky. Athena followed its glow, her eyes steady, her breath calm. The thread stretched higher, weaving between constellations overhead. It shimmered like a bridge of light across the heavens. The stars seemed to lean closer, drawn into its pull. Athena raised her gaze, reading the stories carved in light. Each constellation carried memory, myth, and truth woven together. Heroes stood eternal in the stars, frozen in shining patterns. Mortals looked up and saw legends, but Athena saw more. She saw echoes of lives woven into endless night. The golden thread crossed Orion, his belt gleaming with fire. It curved through the Pleiades, where sisters sang in silence. It touched Cassiopeia's throne, glowing brighter with each star. Athena felt the resonance of countless voices in the dark. Whispers of joy, of longing, of dreams reaching upward. The thread gathered them, weaving them into radiant harmony. Athena stepped forward, though her feet touched only earth. Her spirit seemed to rise, climbing the glowing path. The constellations shifted, aligning with her silent journey. Each star became a note, and the sky a song. The golden thread carried music, vast and unending. It was not of harps nor lyres, but of souls. Every mortal who ever looked skyward left a spark here. Their wonder had become part of the eternal design. Athena listened, her wisdom deepened by the melody. The stars did not shine only for beauty, but for memory. They were pages of a story that no god could erase. The golden thread stitched them together, luminous and eternal. Athena stretched her hand toward the glowing expanse. The thread vibrated under her touch, warm and alive. Visions opened before her like blossoms in the dark. She saw lovers whispering beneath starlight, promising forever. She saw sailors guided by constellations across restless seas. She saw children naming stars, giving them dreams to carry. Each vision shimmered, bound by the golden light. Athena drew back her hand, her heart steady. She understood now, the stars were not silent watchers. They were companions of mortals, keepers of fragile hope, and the golden thread tied them into a single truth. Destiny was not just a line, but a constellation of paths. Each choice lit a star, each soul left a trace. The goddess closed her eyes, letting the harmony wash through her. The sky pulsed, alive with meaning too vast for words. She knew this was a fragment of a greater story. The thread had revealed only a glimpse, a beginning. Athena breathed deeply, anchoring wisdom into her spirit. She lowered her gaze, returning to the mortal plane. The thread continued beyond the stars, downward once more. It curved toward the horizon, glowing softly in the distance. Athena followed, her steps calm, her purpose certain. She knew the journey was far from over. The stars faded behind her, but their memory remained. The golden thread of fate still hummed, pulling her onward. And Athena, guided by curiosity and wisdom, did not turn away. The dawn began to stir, painting the horizon with gentle hues. Athena walked steadily, her gaze fixed upon the golden thread. It shimmered now with a softer light, like woven sunrise. The thread led her down a winding path toward the sea. Waves whispered against the shore, rhythmic and eternal in song. The air carried salt, fresh and sharp with memory. Athena paused, watching the endless horizon stretch before her. The golden thread dipped low, touching the water's surface. It rippled outward, as if calling to hidden depths. The sea, vast and restless, seemed to listen in silence. Athena stepped closer, her sandals brushing cool, wet sand. The tide swelled forward, wrapping around her feet with calm. The thread glowed brighter, weaving across the rolling waves. It did not sink, but floated like light upon water. Athena knew the sea was older than temples or kings. It had carried countless stories, whispered in the tongues of sailors. The golden thread shimmered with echoes of those lost voices. Songs of hope, prayers of safety, and farewells whispered. Athena closed her eyes, letting the sea's chorus surround her. Visions came swiftly, rising like foam upon the tide. A child stood upon a shore, waving as ships departed. A mother prayed beneath the stars, her hands trembling with faith. A sailor steered by constellations, his heart lifted with courage. Each memory woven into the thread carried weight and wonder. Athena opened her eyes, the sea reflecting golden fire. The thread curved outward, leading her across shifting waters. But no mortal bridge lay before her, only the waves. She stepped forward without fear, the water parting gently. The sea obeyed the thread, carrying her as if walking air. Beneath her, schools of fish darted like sparks of silver. Above, seabirds cried, their wings cutting the pale dawn sky. The thread wove on, each shimmer like a step into destiny. Athena walked calmly, though the ocean stretched endless and deep. Her reflection shimmered beside her, joined with golden light. For a moment, she saw not only herself, but countless faces. Mortals whose paths touched the sea, bound in unseen unity. Fishermen who rose before dawn, sailors who chased horizons, children who built castles upon sand, dreaming of far worlds. All were part of the same weave, threads in the ocean's song. Athena's heart stirred, for wisdom was not only knowing, it was listening, seeing, and honoring the stories of others. The thread carried her farther, to a small island ahead. Its cliffs rose sharply, crowned with olive trees and stone. The sea grew calm as she neared, the waves bowing low. Athena stepped upon the shore, her sandals dry once more. The golden thread wound upward into the grove of olives. Their branches swayed, whispering in rhythm with the morning wind. Athena followed, her hand brushing a leaf, feeling its pulse. The island was quiet, yet alive with hidden resonance. The thread glowed brighter here, as if it had purpose. Athena paused, listening, her wisdom guiding her stillness. The whisper in her mind returned, soft but insistent. Follow, seeker of truth, for the weave awaits. Athena breathed deeply, her spirit calm yet sharpened. The golden thread had carried her from sky to sea, and now it led her inward, toward something yet unseen. Her journey was not chance. It was revelation, unfolding step by step. Athena steadied herself, her eyes glowing with clarity. The island awaited, and the thread of fate shone ahead. The olive grove stretched wide, its leaves whispering under the morning breeze. Athena stepped softly, the golden thread gleaming between the trees. Birdsong rose in gentle waves, filling the air with calm. The island seemed alive, breathing with ancient memory and light. Athena paused beneath a tree older than kings and temples. Its trunk twisted upward, strong yet graceful, crowned with silver leaves. The golden thread coiled around its roots, glowing with quiet fire. Athena touched the bark, feeling warmth pulse beneath her hand. Visions stirred, rising like dawn mist through her mind. She saw mortals gathering olives, pressing them into sacred oil. She saw peace treaties sealed beneath the shade of branches. She saw children playing in the grove, laughter carrying upward. Each vision shimmered with harmony, woven into the golden weave. Athena drew back, her gaze deep with thought and clarity. The tree was not only life, but a vessel of connection. The golden thread carried these memories, binding them to the earth. Athena walked deeper into the grove, her eyes upon the light. The thread wound like a serpent, guiding her toward a circle. There, at the heart of the grove, lay a stone altar. Its surface was smooth, worn by countless hands before her. The thread pooled there, shining brighter than the rising sun. Athena approached, her steps steady, her spirit attuned. The altar vibrated faintly, humming with the song of time. She placed her hand upon it, and the grove fell silent. Birds ceased, wind stilled, leaves hung motionless in the air. The thread blazed, a river of light spilling across the altar. Visions surged, vast and endless, flooding her with truth. She saw the loom of the fates, spinning threads unceasing. Each life a strand, delicate yet unbreakable, woven into design. The golden thread pulsed, not belonging to one soul alone. It was part of the greater weave, a bridge of unity. Athena felt the weight of countless destinies pass through her. Some bright with joy, others heavy with sorrow, unspoken. Yet all shimmered with purpose, none without meaning or place. The goddess steadied herself, her wisdom absorbing the vision's depth. The altar released its glow, the grove breathing once again. Birdsong returned, wind stirred, and sunlight kissed the leaves. But Athena's gaze lingered on the fading shimmer of light. She now understood. The golden thread was not for her alone. It was a gift meant for mortals, to guide and remind. To show them that even in solitude, they were not alone. Every choice, every bond, every love was part of the weave. Athena straightened, her presence calm, her purpose renewed. The golden thread glowed once more, leading beyond the grove. It stretched toward the island's cliffs, where the sea roared below. Athena followed, her heart steady with newfound understanding. The path wound upward, steep yet unwavering in direction. The grove behind her shimmered, as though whispering farewell. Athena did not look back, for the journey pressed onward. At the cliff's edge, the thread shimmered against the sky. It did not end, but extended outward like a bridge of light across the horizon, endless and waiting. Athena paused, her gaze fixed upon the radiant expanse. The wind rushed around her, carrying the scent of salt. The golden thread hummed softly, urging her to take the step. And Athena, with wisdom and courage, prepared to walk onward. Athena stood at the edge, the sea roaring far below. The golden thread shone before her, suspended in the air. It stretched outward, a bridge of light woven across sky. The horizon glowed as if dawn itself bent to its presence. Athena's eyes narrowed, not with doubt, but with calm clarity. She stepped forward, her sandal touching the luminous path. It did not waver, but held her as firmly as stone. The goddess walked, each step carrying her across open sky. Clouds drifted beneath her, glowing softly with reflected gold. The wind swept around her, but the thread was steady. It carried her higher, toward a place between earth and stars. The silence there was vast, yet filled with hidden music. The golden thread thrummed gently, a song only she could hear. It was the heartbeat of destinies, the rhythm of countless lives. Athena breathed deeply, her spirit lifted by its resonance. The thread arched upward, leading to a place of light. At its peak, a shimmering gate appeared, woven of radiance. Its frame was not of stone, but strands of fate itself. Athena paused, her hand hovering above its glowing surface. She felt warmth, memory, and the weight of endless stories. The gate opened silently, parting like a veil of dawn. Athena stepped through, entering a realm beyond mortal sight. Here the golden thread multiplied, weaving into countless rivers of light. They stretched across the expanse, flowing like constellations unbound. Each strand shimmered with voices, laughter, tears, and prayers. Athena turned slowly, her eyes absorbing the endless tapestry. It was the loom of existence, hidden from mortal eyes. Every soul, every bond, every dream was woven here. The goddess stepped closer, reaching toward one glowing strand. It vibrated at her touch, revealing a mortal's path. She saw a child's first step, a mother's guiding hand. She saw struggle, courage, and the quiet triumph of love. Athena drew back, her wisdom deepened by what she saw. The tapestry was not a prison, but a harmony of threads. Each life strengthened another, none standing alone in silence. The golden thread she had followed was part of this whole. It was not meant for gods to claim, but to witness. Athena stood in reverence, her heart filled with quiet awe. The voices of the tapestry whispered, gentle as morning breeze. Guide them, they said, but do not bind them. Teach them, they sang, but let them choose their path. Athena bowed her head, understanding the truth unveiled to her. The golden thread was a reminder, not a chain of control. It showed connection, not destiny fixed beyond choice. Every mortal held power to weave their part in harmony. Athena lifted her gaze, her spirit alight with clarity. The golden thread hummed once more, guiding her back. The gate behind her opened, shimmering with farewell. She stepped through, returning to the bridge of light. The sky stretched vast, the horizon glowing with promise. Athena walked onward, her stride calm and unwavering. The The golden thread pulsed softly, carrying her across the clouds. She looked down at the world below, alive with stories. Villages stirred with morning fires, rivers sparkled with sunlight. Children laughed, lovers spoke, travelers dreamed of faraway lands. All of it shimmered, woven invisibly into the same design. Athena smiled faintly, her wisdom deep yet gentle. The golden thread continued forward, leading her toward new horizons, and she followed, ready for whatever truth awaited beyond. Athena descended gently, her steps guided by the golden thread's glow. The sky shifted, no longer bound by dawn or dusk. It was timeless, a canvas painted in hues beyond mortal vision. The thread carried her down to a tranquil valley of whispers. The grass shimmered, bending as though bowing to her arrival. Streams of silver water ran beside her, humming with quiet harmony. Each ripple carried fragments of words spoken across centuries past. Athena paused, listening to the murmur of unseen storytellers. It was not prophecy, but memory preserved in flowing streams. The voices spoke of hope, sorrow, laughter, and unbroken dreams. The goddess bent low, touching the water with graceful fingers. Visions unfolded, mortals weaving bonds of friendship and loyalty. She saw artisans shaping wonders, guided by love of craft. She saw children's laughter, echoing brighter than any storm. She saw elders offering wisdom, steady as mountain roots. Athena smiled, her eyes warm with reverence for mortal strength. The golden thread shimmered again, tugging her toward the east. She rose, following its call deeper into the valley's heart. Soon, she reached a circle of ancient stones carved with symbols. The stones glowed faintly, echoing the light of the thread. This was a place where destiny and choice intertwined. Athena stepped forward, placing her hand on one stone. It resonated, revealing visions of choices made and unmade. Paths diverged, some bright, others shadowed, yet none erased. Each path was true to the heart that walked it. Athena whispered, her voice steady, carrying across the valley. Mortals are not bound by thread, but strengthened by weaving. Her words settled into the air like seeds carried by wind. The stones pulsed softly, absorbing her truth into their memory. The goddess closed her eyes, hearing faint laughter behind her. She turned and saw figures of light, neither mortal nor god. They were guardians of choice, keepers of crossroads unseen. Their forms shimmered like silhouettes drawn from starlight itself. They bowed to Athena, recognizing wisdom in her presence. One stepped closer, a voice soft as twilight breeze. "You honor them by granting freedom, not control," it said. Athena inclined her head, her heart resonating with agreement. The guardian raised a hand, and the air rippled. Another thread appeared, golden but thinner, delicate yet unbreakable. It extended from the circle of stones into the horizon. "This is the thread of courage," the guardian whispered gently. "It shows mortals the strength they hold within choice." Athena touched the thread, feeling its pulse of quiet fire. It was warm, fierce, yet gentle, like a hearth's glow. The thread wound itself around her hand, not binding, but blessing. Athena felt its rhythm align with her own steady heart. She knew she was entrusted with more than sight of fate. She was now its guide, not ruler, not master. The guardians faded, dissolving into the valley's shimmering air. The stones dimmed, their duty fulfilled with silent dignity. Athena stood alone, yet she did not feel solitude. The valley pulsed with countless voices, unseen but ever present. The golden thread stretched onward, waiting for her next step. Athena walked, each stride carrying purpose and quiet strength. The air shifted again, carrying scents of earth and sky. She reached the valley's edge, where hills rolled like waves. The horizon gleamed, inviting, alive with possibility untold. Athena looked back once, honoring the Valley of Whispers. Then she turned forward, her path lit by threads of courage. The goddess walked on, guided by wisdom and by trust. The golden thread sang softly, a melody of freedom's truth. Athena followed the golden thread as it shimmered beyond the rolling hills. The land softened into meadows, filled with wildflowers that swayed gently. Each blossom seemed to glow, as though touched by hidden stars. The air was fragrant, alive with scents of earth and hope. Birds glided above, their wings trailing silver streaks in the sky. Athena paused, listening to their calls echo like sacred hymns. The golden thread pulsed again, guiding her deeper into the meadow. At its heart stood a great tree, ancient and luminous. Its branches arched skyward, wrapped with strands of glowing fate. Leaves rustled softly, though no breeze passed through them. The tree's bark gleamed faintly, etched with spirals of light. Athena approached slowly, her gaze steady and reverent. She placed her hand upon the trunk, feeling its heartbeat. It pulsed with the rhythm of countless lives intertwined. She closed her eyes, and visions unfolded before her. Generations passed in moments, their stories flowing like rivers. The tree bore witness to joy, sorrow, courage, and forgiveness. Every moment was preserved in its roots and branches. Athena whispered softly, "This is the memory of the world." The golden thread curled upward, weaving into the branches. It shone brighter, a beacon against the vast horizon. Suddenly, voices rose, gentle yet strong, calling her name. She looked up, and within the branches, figures appeared. They were mortal spirits, radiant with the glow of memory. Each carried fragments of the lives they once had lived. They smiled at Athena, their eyes filled with gratitude. One stepped forward, her voice soft as morning dew. "You honor us by remembering, by seeing what we were." Athena bowed slightly, acknowledging their enduring presence. The spirit reached out, touching the golden thread's light. The thread binds us, not to control, but to connect. Her words echoed, resonating deep within Athena's heart. She realized the tree was more than memory. It was communion. Mortals and gods alike were woven into the same design. Every life, no matter how small, left its mark here. Athena felt humbled, her wisdom deepened by their truth. The spirits faded back into the branches, resting once more. The meadow grew quiet, yet alive with unseen harmony. The goddess sat beneath the great tree, breathing its calm. The golden thread rested gently, its glow softened to amber. Athena traced its light, whispering to the unseen weavers, "Your stories endure. They are the strength of the world." The tree rustled softly, as if answering her vow. Athena rose, her spirit renewed by the meadow's gift. The golden thread lifted again, glowing with fresh resolve. It stretched beyond the meadow, toward mountains veiled in mist. Athena followed, her steps steady, her heart alight with purpose. She knew now the journey was not only discovery, it was a reminder that wisdom was born from listening. Every thread carried a story, every story carried truth. And together, they formed the golden weave of existence itself. Athena lifted her gaze, the horizon vast and waiting. The goddess walked on, guided by light and by trust. The golden thread shimmered, singing softly of what lay ahead. The golden thread glowed softly, its light fading into the horizon. Athena stood upon the mountain's peak, the sky vast around her. Below, the world stretched wide, alive with rivers, forests, and cities. Everywhere she looked, she saw threads weaving through mortal lives. They sparkled faintly, unseen to human eyes, yet vibrant and true. The goddess breathed deeply, her heart steady with quiet understanding. Her journey had revealed not power, but harmony in design. Fate was no chain, but a tapestry built on choice. Athena raised her hand, and the golden thread shimmered. It vibrated gently, carrying echoes of countless voices across time. She heard laughter, the kind that healed weary hearts. She heard tears falling like rain to nourish new growth. She heard promises, fragile yet unbroken, guiding lives forward. Each sound was sacred, each life part of the whole. Athena spoke softly, her voice carried on the mountain winds. You are not bound. You are free yet connected. Her words rippled outward, unseen yet felt in mortal souls. A mother rocked her child, feeling hope stir within. A traveler took a step with courage he thought lost. An elder smiled, remembering that wisdom shared was never wasted. Each heart felt the goddess's truth, though none saw her form. Athena lowered her gaze, her mission complete, her spirit calm. The golden thread coiled back, resting gently in her hand. It no longer pulled her forward, but waited in silence. She knew then it was not hers to hold forever. It belonged to the world, to the countless lives it touched. Athena opened her hand, releasing the thread to the wind. It floated upward, weaving back into the sky's endless fabric. Its glow spread across the heavens, faint yet eternal. Stars shimmered brighter, as though woven with renewed strength. The night sky became a canvas of living stories. Athena smiled faintly, her wisdom tempered with quiet reverence. She turned away from the peak, her steps calm and sure. Her journey had ended, yet the golden thread continued on. For mortals would weave their own paths, with courage and love. The goddess descended slowly, her presence fading with twilight. She left behind no monument, no mark of conquest. Only a whisper in the wind, gentle and enduring. It said, choose, live, weave your story into the world. And mortals, though unaware of its source, carried it within. The mountains stood silent, the rivers flowed, the stars burned. All of creation thrummed with the unseen golden harmony. Athena's figure vanished into the folds of night. But the thread of fate remained, not as a chain. It endured as a promise, a reminder, a bond unbroken. The tapestry of life grew richer with each new dawn. And so the goddess's journey ended, yet it was not an end. For every story continued, every thread found its place. The golden thread sang on, a melody woven into eternity.